Penis.
Thank you, Dakota, for that wonderful opening that I didn't even start. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Retonomized signing in. I wanted to bring you guys my first podcast today. Um, I recently came across a video that I thought should be discussed among the gaming community. With me, I brought my buddy Dakota.
Yeah, hey, that's me. I'm the one who said penis. I really hope that gets in the video.
It'll be in, I promise.
Yes. This is
Adam.
like the only video of yours I
Hello,
watch.
Yes.
sirs.
Yep, and my buddy Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so the video I recently watched, I'll end up, I'll not say like who edited it or posted it or whatever, but because it's been like posted by a lot of different people. But one of the big topics that's been going around recently is like how people perceive the gaming community and like how people are that not only play the games or uh, record the games to post for other people to watch, but also the people that make them and the people that support them and the people that don't. Um, Before the podcast started, I was ended up talking about how there was a recent article that was posted about how some tournaments were going to block uh, alternate costumes for being sexually explicit from Dead or Alive 5's newest release.
AKA the game that pretty much made jiggle physics.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one. So
Let's block the costumes from the shows that are very revealing that made the games that way in the first place. Because America, that's why.
which kind of like it kind of irks me because people are like, oh, people shouldn't be posting this because it's sexually explicit, or people shouldn't be making these games because they're too violent or graphic. It's I don't see. Part of me is kind of like I don't see the difference between if you were to have like a picture posted in like a museum or something of like a naked man or woman or whatever, and that being called art instead of a video game having nudity of sorts and that being called like explicit.
It's probably one of the things of where it's like with a painting or whatnot, there's usually some sort of deeper meaning or reason. And with a video game, it more just seems like you're just slapping naked people in there just because, just to try and get more fans.
But it's also the
I-
people.
I would argue that point, Dakota, because I actually am aware that a lot of museums, I couldn't name one specifically, but they are including video games as art in specific exhibits all around the world. So I do think people are starting to realize the potential that games have as art. I think the point here is more about games focusing specifically on the jiggle physics or the violence, that sort of stuff. I can understand why that wouldn't be considered art and could be frowned upon.
But then there's also like me personally, I think I am actually going to play that hatred game. I'm not going to broadcast it or record it or anything. I'm not going to post it to this channel. But because like games like those, it just seems like that's also art too in a sense. But people shouldn't be like oh, how do I explain it? It's like not to like look into it as if like it affects children to like do that, like our younger generation, like the generation coming up after us. But it's because there's been studies that proves like no, none of this really like fully affects into it. It depends on what the environment is for the person that is involved or whatever. And it just really kind of set me off reading that article because it's like, if you're going to ban this, then why are we not banning games like Grand Theft Auto or Hatred or these other rather graphic, gory, violent games, but having a little slip of a side boob get censored for other people to see. Like, either you censor all of it or you censor none of it, is what
I
I feel like.
I want to say the issue at hand uh, with that is the Dead or Alive games. Yes, they did make the very sexualized outfits like famous for the
Well, let
fighting
me
game
backtrack
community.
and just like the jiggle physics and whatnot, like that's just like Japan and their culture more or less, and that like you don't just change a culture like that.
Well, it's also not just like foreign video game companies themselves either. I mean, it's still
Yeah.
there is local American-based companies that have these physics and stuff like that too. I mean, you can also look at like animes and whatever, them also having rather explicit scenes or whatever, but them some being censored and some not, or other ones being rather graphic and gory or violent and others not. Like, I don't see, like, all of it should be considered an art, especially in the gaming community, because how much that it gives programmers and designers, program designers, a chance to, like, explore their different talents and stuff to make a great game that can be sold to the public and not have their work that they've been working on so hard for censored because it's just like any other art.
Well, I think that you're talking about an instance where Dead or Alive is getting costumes banned from tournament play.
Yes.
I feel like that could mostly be because it's tournament play. Like, it's people supposed to be using the fighting aspect of the game rather than being distracted by the sexual aspect.
I think it's also like some of the fact is like there's a lot of kids that probably watch different fighting games because like they might have like an older brother or sibling or they might know someone that's in there, so their parents might take them to the fighting games and they don't want to expose the kids to that too much. And also it's one of those things where it's like the people that actually play, they doesn't really affect them because they're way more focused on the game than the actual like what the characters look like so much. Like yeah, when you play a fighting game or whatnot, you usually have a preferred outfit that you like, but it doesn't have any sort of effect on the actual game. It's just all for looks.
But then but like me personally, like if I had a son or daughter that wanted to see a fighting game or whatever, and they wanted to see either Mortal Kombat or Dead or Alive, I have no problem with showing them to either because but I'm more like I don't understand why they would censor DOA for like its boob physics and everything when like
Like
they're going to see it
how
eventually or not.
exactly how ridiculous are the costumes? Because if it's like, oh, there's barely a string
There's
covering them, then it's like that's too much.
I
That's
wouldn't.
about the level of DOA.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of getting to that point. But I mean, it's not
that's a
like
bit too much
you
for my
aren't
personal.
going to see it in person anyway. You have a much higher chance of seeing a boob or a butt or something like that than you would seeing someone's head and spine get ripped out of their body. Like you I mean, I don't care for either because I mean, I don't see my children going ahead and ripping spines out of people.
If
But
they can do that, that's
then I'll be
uh,
like, dude, you're on
you're
my
going to
side
the
for
you're going to the circus or something. I don't know.
you're joining the military or something.
Amen. Wait, what?
I meant what? Oh, um,
Not with
so
my hair.
so I mean, I'm not really concerned about either because like me being a video gamer or whatever, I don't care for either. But it's just dumb to me that they would go ahead and censor like these different things and have all these big news reports about how like oh video games are demoralizing our younger generations and
Well, I
all
mean,
of that. It's
like
like
if you're getting like a rated M game or something, like you're basically saying, yes, I am like mature enough to handle this kind of stuff that I'm gonna like be seeing and playing. And like parents who like their kids like play those games, they always like blame like the government or something for not censoring this kind of stuff. But obviously, it's just their fault for letting the kid play the game.
Yeah, it's more of a parent-based thing. Like,
Hmm.
they do have the ESRB, and they do a great job with their censoring. I do believe that. But, um, like, we can't blame for the demoralization of younger generations. We can't blame government or higher organizations for the things they put on their boxes because if they are correct, such as Grand Theft Auto being rated M or Hatred almost getting an adults only rating, um, DOA almost getting an M rating. Is it M? I don't I don't think it is.
I
I don't
think
know.
it is.
It is it?
I would think so.
I can't remember what the
I
rating of
mean,
it
if
is.
it's just the pretty revealing outfits, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just T. But if there's like, I realize it's a fighting game, so there's going to be violence, but it's probably not on the level of violence of like MK or whatnot, where it's like, oh, here we're in the middle of a fight, let me just like rip your head off halfway through, and we'll just keep fighting. It's all good. If anyone's MK fans, I do know that doesn't happen mid-fight. I was just exaggerating. I do play a bit of combat myself. There is headless combat though, so you can't get too mad at me.
True.
I'll stop now.
But
Anywho,
like you can't blame higher organizations or the company themselves for the games that they make if the parents of these children that obviously shouldn't be playing these games are letting them or buying these games for their children. Like it's not the company's fault for it.
saying it's not the company's fault might be a bit too far. I mean, the company did make the games, yes, and they did the best that they informed it.
For the
Oh,
expected audience that they made it for.
yes.
Like they expect people that are older and mature to play these Grand Theft Autos, not 12-year-olds. Like that wasn't their
Yeah.
original intention.
Yeah, like I understand for that. But like with DOA, it's like do they really need that revealing of outfits? Is it honestly necessary?
It's not necessary, but I would say that's part of what brought DOA to popularity. It's
Yeah, I
just
understand that, but
easily.
like I actually haven't seen any of the new costume or anything because I don't play the game. But if it's to the point of like real ridiculousness, it's like, oh hey, they're pretty much just wearing nothing right now. Then it's like, yeah, I understand why you're being banned because that's just there's no need for that.
Yeah, like the biggest one I can remember out of the article that I read, there was like I shouldn't say like censored, like like blurred out or like a line over it. But what they did is they actually like took costumes that were revealing and put extra fabric to them. Like one of them was like it was like this small, like Japanese orientated, like ceremonial dress, but it only like covered the front of the boob. So when the character got knocked down, it would show complete side boob. But in like the censored version, it put the fabric over to her side, like all the way around the back
Okay,
instead.
have you seen Melina's third outfit in Mortal Kombat?
I
It's
no.
literally bandages covering her.
I mean, if it still covers the entire thing, though, then it's still fine. I mean, it's
Just go
still
look at
technically covered.
the thing is, it's like I get what you're saying. It's like they didn't ban Melina's third outfit. I've watched a couple of MK tournaments because honestly, watching fighting game tournaments is actually pretty awesome. Just watching the craziness that happens, and people use Melina's third outfit, and it's one of those things where it's, you kind of just sit there watching it play. It's like, why exactly did they need this outfit though? There was no point. It was literally just kind of one of those things. It's like, oh hey, let's just throw boobs in.
Hey man, you gotta have something for those people that are like, fighting games or whatever. I mean, but
Okay, Melina, Jade, and Kitana's outfits were pretty much already revealing enough as it is. Going like,
Katana's was yes.
yeah, like I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's kind of a main series of the game, but they don't need to take it so far to where it's like you can literally see them almost completely naked if you just think hard enough.
well, I'd say ultimately it's whatever the developers want it to be. Like it's
Yeah,
up to the ESRB to rate
yeah,
the game and deem what audience is appropriate for it.
yeah. I understand that, but it's also one of those things. It's like, is the company mad about the outfits being banned from tournament use? Garrett.
I mean, like Mason said, I understood like why they would ban it for tournament play or whatever, and that's fine. But if you're gonna have
No, no, no. I'm
censors,
saying, like, is the company itself like, have they responded to anything about the outfits being banned
no,
for
they did
tournaments?
not respond to anything about it because it
Oh,
is tournament play. They are fine with that, but they still
okay,
like the
so they
original purpose is for it. But it just doesn't. It's still what what the organization, not organization, the programs originally designed the character to be like.
and also another thing too is since they're not mad at it, they completely expected it. It's one of those things where it's like if they expected that to get through, for me it's just like I like okay, I'll admit who doesn't like seeing bare boobs every once in a while, but like after a while it's
Adam.
just kind of like this is like it's one of those things where it's just like it can get old, and if like every character
No,
in a
boobs don't get
series,
old.
I don't honest. Yeah, what?
okay, if you play a fighting game for let's say 3 days straight, and every character in is like pretty much is completely naked the entire time. After a while, you're just gonna get bored. It's like, can we see alternate outfits or something like that?
I mean,
That's
I
what the packages are for. They're alternate outfits. It's
Yeah,
not
I
like
know.
they're strictly the revealing outfits. There are
but you
more
have to wear them.
outfits to it, but
Yeah, I
those are
know.
part of it.
uh, I was just about to say like I could play Smash for 3 days as Zero Suit Samus and I wouldn't get bored,
Yeah, it's so
but
sad. I was about to say that how like even a
Okay,
rated E game
here,
feels it's
that's true.
necessary to add
okay, but
something
here's the thing with Zero Suit
like that.
Samus.
It's
She
still
is
covered.
actually, she is completely covered. Yes, it's skin tight, and pretty much her boobs are fake because they don't move at all. Doesn't matter how tight your suit is, they're gonna be some jiggle in there. That's just Nintendo being like, oh, we don't believe in jiggle physics, but that's another story for another time.
Nintendo.
I got that from a
Nintendo
different.
add boob physics. God, man, they need to hop on this train. Jesus.
You do realize the day that
Metroid
happens,
Prime 4. There you go. Perfect
the
opportunity.
day that happens is the day that Nintendo stops being a family-friendly console.
Which would be fantastic. I would have no problem with it. They could still
But the
make their
thing,
Marios.
but here's the thing, like
There you
that's the thing I like most about Nintendo. It's like they keep all their stuff for younger kids, and it's like, but they keep their audience kind of geared toward a younger audience is going to be playing this, but we still need to make it fun for older audiences.
Coming from the
Right,
guy with the
they're
Pangoro and Manchamp picture. Perfect.
Yes, that it's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. If anybody who watches that show, you'll and plays Pokemon at all, you'll see this and you'll probably think it's. And if you see this picture, I don't know if Garrett's actually gonna put the
Yes,
video.
it is up there.
Okay, you're probably gonna think it's the most hilarious thing ever. If you don't watch JoJo's, watch it. It's
Love
glorious. Love it and let it love you all night long.
it.
If you get what I'm saying.
Perfect. I love
Edit that out.
it. Add that out. No, leave it in.
Damn it.
Damn it.
Yes. Wait, did I say that out?
No.
Continue.
But yeah, I think that was just like a big thing is like gamers need to like stay together and then be like because me personally like I am not a fighting game person, but I'm not going to go ahead and be like, "Oh, I totally agree with having no boob physics anymore." Like it's a game, it's an art. All games
Honestly,
should be
though,
taken as art.
one of the things I've really noticed about when you're actually playing a fighting game at that high level of competition,
Oof.
you don't notice anything. You really don't. Half the time, the screen is a blur of what's happening. Because, like, I've watched some tournaments of people playing, like, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and Injustice with some of the, how should we say this, bigger breasted characters. You don't see any jiggle physics. There ain't no
None.
jiggle physics. Like, yeah, like when they're not attacking whatnot, and like between rounds when characters are kind of standing there, swinging back and forth, and they're like a metronome or whatnot, then it's there. But like during the actual fight, there's like nothing. There's no movement that you really noticeable.
Mm. totally.
And honestly, I don't know the fighting style of the Dead or Alive series because like each game has its really own fighting style. Like one of my friends downstairs on the second floor, he used to play a lot of Soul Calibur 4, I want to say. Yeah, Soul Calibur 4, and he said it was a very heavy defensive game. But like I've been watching Killer Instinct, and that's a lot of spacing and basically footsies of like going back and forth trying to find an opening between each other. And then there's like Mortal Kombat, which I'm pretty sure is pretty offensive heavy. Like you want to just keep pressure on your opponents the entire time, mostly depending on your character. So like if it's a very standstill game, then the revealing outfits might be a bit much. But if it's a very fast moving game, then they probably aren't even that noticeable most of the time. I feel like I'm going kind of back and forth on my viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of how I am. It's just like I see both sides of the picture, and like I'm kind of sitting on the fence. It's like I understand where they're coming from. Like with the ban, it's like okay, if they're having way too revealing outfits and it's not necessary. At the same time, I realize it's like I realize that's what the company was intended. That's what everybody knew. Hey, this game's going to have a lot of female characters with big jubblies and revealing outfits.
That's the best use of that word I've ever heard. That's awesome.
What, jubblies?
Jubblies.
Haven't I said that before?
No.
Shit, I gotta start
Never.
saying jubblies more because jubblies is a fun word to say.
Jubblies.
Isn't it fun to say?
Jubblies. Speed
Okay,
the
we're
word.
my bad. We're getting off topic. My bad.
But I don't know. That was just kind of like the main point. It was just I feel like gamers shouldn't bash on each other for the games that they like. If one person likes DOA or whatever, whether it be for the fighting or for the boop physics, you shouldn't immediately bash like that section of the game community. The gaming
I mean,
community
if
should
you're
stand
just
up for it.
there, if you're just playing the game for the jiggle physics,
Sorry.
there's cheaper sources of that elsewhere.
Which is
And
like
better.
what I said,
Namely the
better
internet.
sources.
I'm just gonna throw that one
Links
out
in
there.
the description. No, I'm kidding.
Like if you're gonna pay $60 just for a game about just that has jiggle physics, you literally it's just like it's one of the things that's just like why don't you just either watch a gameplay because it's gonna be posted on the internet like a day or two after the game's out, or there's sites you can go to. Just leave it at that one.
Which,
Just post a link to some of the websites.
yes, I will totally link them in the
Contact me later
description.
and I'll show you some sites.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't listen to anything I say.
It's on the black market description in this video. Perfect. But
the item number 824701 tag.
What?
what?
I have no idea what that is.
I have no fucking clue.
Someone look that up, like that exact number. Just like throw it on the comments or whatnot, saying what that actually is. That'd be hilarious.
If there were numbers, okay. But yeah. I don't know. That was kind of the main point of this podcast, was just the fact that all games I consider to be art, and that shouldn't be banned in, or censored in any way, whether it be tournament play or not. Is how I feel about it.
Well, like also another thing you have to look at too is tournament play and casual play are ridiculously different. So it's probably one of those things where it's like they probably more so did it for the people watching. So it's like, oh, all the people watching don't have to be constantly.
God. Why'd you have to type that? Now it showed up in the video. God.
Oh, that's great. Oh, if
You
I
can
was
always just start
I'd
over.
just ended it there.
Start over.
Oh, damn it! I have to say penis.
Take two.
Take two, all over. Last 20 minutes. Bam.
Round two, fight. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God, Jesus.
God, what the hell was I even saying just before that? Oh yeah, like how tournament different. It's like it's probably more so for the fans, not so much the players, because like the people who play in tournaments, it probably doesn't bother them that much
I got distracted by your character side boob. We need to rematch. Really?
Yeah, it's like, okay, if it's a new outfit that they haven't seen before and they're not used to it, it's just like it catches them completely off guard or something like that. It might just like throw them off for like half a second. But like, the people watching, like, I don't feel like you guys are the right people to ask this question. Do you really want to watch like, God, how long are fighting matches?
I would say
Okay,
like
like,
5-10 minutes.
well, like if
God,
you're
that'd be a
watching
long match.
like
Yeah,
the
that's
top
long.
if you're watching like the top 8 in a finals tournament, which can be like 2 hours long, do you really want to just kind of be sitting there watching two girls like mostly naked, just jump around for 2 hours
Yes.
in front of like 20 different or in front of like a couple hundred different people?
Dakota, I've been to a convention before that specifically went to panels that were all about porn.
Really?
I'm just saying it's one of
That's a
those things
thing.
like not everybody always wants to be staring at that.
Not
Like there are
everybody, but those rooms were full.
you're not getting the point.
You're having a
You guys
competition. You're like top tier in this fucking tournament. You're like balls deep into this tournament. You're fighting this dude, and he
you
like
see
puts on an
this
alternate costume you've never seen on a character. Halfway through the match, as people are sitting you watching, you just have this awkward erection start showing up. You
see
just totally just get fucked up.
okay, Garrett,
Just can't think of anything except, man, I would put my dick in that.
Garrett, I'm just gonna
While you're trying to fight for like $1 million prize.
hey,
Ugh.
I'm just gonna throw this one out there. At first, I thought you were still talking about what Mason was talking about, like there was a tournament there. I got very confused for a second. I was like, "What
A
the kind
tournament
of a
of who can
tournament was
have the
that?"
most awkward boner.
Who could have
But I
the
was just
most
sitting like,
awkward bone?
"What kind of tournament are at those booths? What the frick?" My mind's going dark places again.
Food mechanics are awesome things. I have no problem with food mechanics. Not saying
But,
that in like a
but,
perverted way, but
but
that
like I'm
was
like,
actually a big improvement in programming when that actually got like
Could you
out
imagine
to there.
being the guy to like type in like left boob bounce this way kind of guy? Like that's your job.
Hey man,
I'm pretty sure the actual coding is a lot more complicated than that.
Well, yeah, but
left
You
Left
boob
probably
boob
bounce
get paid
bounce
the
left.
up.
most.
Left boob bounce right. Repeat.
Pete.
Oh god, can you imagine a game like that? Just like one boob is just moving the entire time.
Mason or Dakota, you just totally reminded me of when you were trying to explain the intro to High School of the Dead to me.
Oh god.
Or the one scene where like the boobs were like bouncing like both up and down like simultaneously and the bullet like flew through.
It's funny because a character in that series, her boobs have their own sound effects.
They do. It's beautiful.
it's
You
quite
should definitely watch it.
That's arguable. It's not a good series. The story
not bad.
behind it is kind of shitty. That's
Ghoulless
one of
Life?
those.
Well, what?
That's one of
Huh?
those shows that you watch for the Jublies.
Dude.
And if you're gonna watch that show for the Jublies, just watch episode 6. You'll thank me later.
Oh, thanks.
The man who liked freezing. Come on.
Hey, yeah. For
Hey.
some freezing love.
If you
Ooh.
want to watch a show that has a good story and the Jublies, I would have to say DxD, because DxD actually has a fairly decent story to it.
Fairly
And
decent.
most of the times when we watch this in Harrow, which is about
Oh god,
10 guys,
why?
10 guys in one room, so yeah, you know a party's happening there,
Mm,
and that's usually it.
gay party. What?
Watching High School DxD, so in a dark room. Sometimes we take mini bets and like, okay, how long into the episode before we see our first pair of boobs? We start betting by the seconds. Like 5 seconds in, damn it, it was 7. Like that is how ridiculous that show is sometimes.
Wow.
But like, if you can get past the fan service and stuff, then the actual story isn't terrible.
Alright, so I think that's probably all about the whole band thing. I just feel like all should be considered when you're placing a band in that. understandable for tournament play. Like, otherwise, it shouldn't be.
I mean, since it's just tournament play that got banned from,
Yeah,
banned.
that's fine. I mean, companies can do what they want. Like, they kind of like post or like, I mean, make the games like towards their audience. So, like for example, Mortal Kombat, they're aware that like their fans are probably above the age of like 20 or whatever, maybe 18. So they kind of do make more of that kind of stuff. While like Nintendo, they don't really do any of that.
Yeah, for like Mortal Kombat, really, there's only five female characters if you include Scarlet. I don't believe I'm missing anyone. Let's see. There's Jade, Katana, Melina, Sonya, and yeah, Scarlet. So there's only five characters. Sonya has full clothes on. Um, Scarlet just more looks like she's wearing a bikini, which is like, oh, you're just at the beach or whatnot, and you'd see something like that and be perfectly fine. And then Jade, Katana, and Melina, their outfits are a bit more revealing, but it's one of those things where it's like, um, their most revealing outfit besides Melina is their first one, and any of their alternates are actually covered up more, and even their regular outfits aren't insanely revealing.
Hold on. Isn't there a chick with 6 arms?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Shiva. But Shiva's isn't used in tournaments because she's slow as hell and terrible.
Hey,
Alright.
talking to a Jigglypuff main over here.
That's true. He's a beast.
Okay, Jigglypoof is a different thing 'cause that's a different game. I'm being serious when like
I think we can all agree here that Jigglypuff has some great fluff mechanics.
Jigglypuff top tier.
It's not Jigglypuff, it's Jigglypoof.
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypoof.
Jiggly stuff.
Jiggly stuff.
Whoa.
That actually was going to kind of lead to like a subset topic I was going to. Smash voting. What's going on?
I actually put a ballot in for Jay from Elite Beat Agents.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm being completely serious. Like
I put in like main 3, so I did like Jay and the other 2, which for some reason I'm having a.
I mostly just did Jay because he was like the main face of the game.
True.
He's the first.
You guys realize that
challenge.
you can put in a vote for all 3 of them. Like the current ballot for them is for the 3.
Oh well, if anything, they'd probably just be like alternate outfits, of which, of course, me and Garrett would always probably play Chieftain.
Oh fuck yeah! High five.
Actually, if anything, I'd probably play one.
You would play as.
Sorry.
You totally play as them right now.
But that's only because I made them as Pokemon, and I took a really long fucking time to make that Blaziken.
But what would be your guys' if you guys haven't voted yet, which I think everyone has at least, what would be like your top 3 that you would want in here? Because 4 for that matter, because they're actually allowing, I believe, 4 more DLC characters. I think was 4, because I know they have Mewtwo and Lucas on the way, which is gonna be great. But I think they were allowing 4 more community voted ones.
See, like my biggest problem is most of the Nintendo games I play are Pokemon. It's like they already have too many Pokemon to add more. It's like, true. Oh, hey, let's just throw Blaziken in here. He'd be a great addition. It's like, no.
Hey, dude, you could bring back Pichu. Ooh.
Oh, hell yeah, Pichu.
Oh, no.
By the way, you know what the hilarious thing is? Hey, you guys are gonna get wrecked the next time we free for all because I'm bringing a Volt Tackle Pichu with present.
Oh God, don't do this to me.
You guys are so boned.
So what would be like your guys' top 3s?
Someone else go first because I actually have to think.
Smash characters?
Yeah, top 4 that you.
Are we limiting this just to just the Nintendo characters?
No, like any that would be like actually legit for the ballot.
Dude, I'm a Pac-Man fan. Oh my God, Pac-Man is so fun.
already in it.
Yeah, that's true.
What 4 would you have in it, Adam? If you could put 4 more in there.
If I could put 4 into it.
If you could put 4.
I mean, dude, they put like Duck Hunt in the game, so they're like scraping the bottom of the pan already.
I guess. If you want to say that.
Trainer, my God, they need to quit with that.
Dude, Wii Fit Trainer's a beast, dude. Don't mess with
do not shit on Wii Fit Trainer. I picked up Wii Fit Trainer for a while, went online, just started dicking around, came in first place, just like 4 matches in a row. It was hilarious.
Talk shit, get fit.
The best quote ever. So, does anybody have a top four? I mean, I do. I already put in votes.
Right now I can think of two off the top of my head.
I already have my four. I already got this down already. Okay, so my first one I voted for was Isaac from the Golden Sun series. He was the assist trophy in Brawl, but all he really did was just synergy push, which was just really kind of sucky. I hated it. But he had so much more range to actually do some other things in the game, and because he's actually had three games for a series, he's not a bad contender for this. Wide move pool, definitely, like, not as big of a name, but definitely has, like I said, a big enough set that could make for him. My second one I picked was Banjo-Kazooie. God, I love those guys. Fucking played all three. They had shit ton of games for there. I think they had like 4 or 5. I think, not counting like they had like a Mario, like a Sonic Kart one that they were in. That one doesn't really count. Also, great move pool. With them going ahead and releasing the predecessor for the series coming up here soon. I think they're talking about more at E3 this year. Definitely would be worth putting them in there. I also voted, like Dakota said, Leaf Feed Agents. They need to come back more to the Americas. They need to. I understand there was 3 games for them.
I mean, we do have Osu to tide us over to the next one comes out if it ever does.
That's true. So, but it still is like they need to come back, and they could do a lot of different things, especially if you have like the cast of 3 of the agents. Like you would have the 2 background and then the main, which could switch for different costumes, or even for Commander Khan for that matter.
If anything, they would have like a final smash of where it's like basically the super mode of like other characters. Like, oh hey, now you're as Commander Khan.
Best Dakota. I already am thinking ahead of you for that smash. Frickin' opening to where you start a song, you know. Agents are.
Oh god, now I'm just
blast
picturing
people
like a
across the
giant
screen.
Commander Khan picture on the screen. Agents are go, and like his hand just cuts across the screen, and anyone that gets hit by his hand is damaged. Like, oh god, why is this a thing?
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love that.
I can think of 3 right now. I can't think of a 4th actually though.
And then the 4th one I had lined up was I wanted a Toon Ganondorf from Wind Waker, because I feel like they need more Toon characters. Like my ace is Toon Link. I love
okay,
Toon
that
Link.
made me think of something. Let me call having like a Paper Mario.
Paper Mario would be a good one. I like that. But not make him a Mario clone. They already have Dr. Mario as a clone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to make. They already kind of have. I mean, I guess you could consider Luigi a clone.
No,
not really.
No. Dr.
Luigi
Mario's
plays,
a clone, though.
Luigi plays
legit clone.
so much different than Mario.
That's true. So I don't think they should make Paper Mario like a direct clone. Definitely, he has way more different things he could do.
I mean, if we're gonna throw in like another Mario, like from Mario series, why not just go like a Super Mario RPG style of a character almost? Like maybe
Gino
do like
is a popular voted character at the moment.
Shovel Knight.
No, Gino from
Gino.
Mario RPG.
Oh,
Gino or Dano or something like that.
No, I know
Geno.
Gino, but like Gino? What?
Yeah.
Huh.
You don't think that'd be neat?
He is pretty awesome. I do like him.
For me, I think the 3 characters I would choose, probably obviously the Elite Beat Agents, because it was a fun game. Like, God, how much time did we kill playing that game?
All right.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Dakota, I'm gonna put this in perspective for you. Do you know how many times I restarted that game?
I think you said you started like 3 or 4 times.
And S ranked each stage on each difficulty.
All trying for the secret song that wasn't there. You wasted your life.
Oh, it was worth it.
Like, we spent 6th through 8th grade playing that game.
Oh God, we did.
And so like, it'd be awesome because like I said earlier, like on Facebook or whatnot, like be really interesting if like their combos like you had to keep in time with some sort of beat, and like maybe the different outfits changed the beat that you had to work with. Maybe
True.
I mean like that'd be interesting instead of like just being the outfits just being like a different thing. It's like you could learn each of the agents and like if you went spin like the beat to keep would be a lot it wouldn't be as harsh on you, but your attacks wouldn't do as much. And like as you worked your way up to like Chieftain, the Elite Beat Divas, or Khan, like the beat got very harsh. Like you had to have ridiculous timing, but you would do so much more damage. I
Love it.
think that would be actually very interesting to work in there. Um, Second, I'd have to say like another character from the Fire Emblem series, but not a sword fighter. I'd actually go one of the transform characters,
Yeah, that'd be
like
cool.
Pain, I think her name was. I never actually really figured out how to pronunciate her name, but it was the character that turned into a rabbit. I feel like she would probably be the most interesting to have in the game because like most of your attacks would just be in your regular form. They'd have to do some goofy things for the specials, but then like it'd be another transform final smash, but it's one of those things where it fits the character really well. And like all the Fire Emblem characters except for Robin, and Robin's still half sword fighter, like they're all sword fighters.
True.
And it's like, okay, I understand like yeah, a lot of the game is sword fighting, is hand to hand combat. But it's like why don't we get some other characters? Like maybe Na or Lady Tiki would be interesting also. They're Manichetes. So like the whole purpose would be like you fight normally and then final match is oh shit, now there's a dragon on the field that we got to deal with. um I think third character I'd have to throw in someone from Kingdom Hearts series.
Who?
Like maybe Sora or Roxas.
Well, I
Or
think if
either probably Sora or Riku. If anything, they could just like make Sora kind of like his own character, and then like do what they did with the Koopalings. Is like each alternate outfit is a different character.
or a
So
different
like
Keyblade wielder. Yeah.
yeah, so like aren't there supposed to be 7 Keyblade wielders?
Well, they could put. Let's see. How many Koopalings are there? There's 6, 8.
Something like that. But
I think there's 8. So they could
like
have Sora, Riku,
Sora,
Kairi,
Kairi,
Roxas,
Roxas. Let's throw Xion in there
Xion in there,
because I feel like Xion's a pretty forgotten character, unfortunately.
Terra, Aqua,
Yeah, we could throw in there. Hell,
Ventus.
yeah,
Ooh,
maybe
what would
even
be the
Axel,
8th? Axel could be the 8th.
because hasn't it been officially revealed
Yes,
that
it
he
has
does?
been. So
Yeah,
he's
that's what I thought.
Or you could put Mickey.
No, I'd say Mickey could probably be for like a final smash and do like what they did with with
Chain
uh
Armors. Yeah.
no, I was thinking of
Oh.
with Robin's final smash,
Hmm.
dual charge or whatever the hell it's called, and like whoever it is, they pretty much basically summon King, they land a hit, and Mickey comes and assists, and you just string together a ridiculous chain of combos and end with a finisher.
I would love that.
And then for fourth, not really sure. Actually, looking at your profile picture made me think like maybe someone from The World Ends with You would be kind of interesting.
Ooh. Well, I
I-
mean, they did bring him back. He is making a comeback. He will. You
I
just
mean-
gotta believe.
it'd be kind of interesting because like it almost kind of be like Ice Climbers. I feel like Ice Climbers will probably come back on. To be honest,
I
There's-
thought it was like legal reasons or something they had to take him out, wasn't it?
It
I
wasn't
actually-
legal reasons. It was the there was an issue running Ice Climbers on the 3DS, so they
Oh,
couldn't fit
yeah.
it properly with trying to keep a matching
That's
roster
nuts.
between the games.
okay,
because
so
they
yeah,
could run it on you, just not 3DS.
then it probably wouldn't work too well. I mean, the 3DS just got upgraded to 3DS New,
True.
so the software's getting better. They probably could run Ice Climbers. I feel like Ice Climbers will come back. I really do. I think they'll find some way to get Ice Climbers back in there.
They're one of
Even
my favorites.
because like I know a lot of people really like the Ice Climbers.
I liked the Ice Climbers one time. One time. And that was when I tried to beat Taboo on ultimate difficulty. And I had my team of 6. And the only thing that ran into my head that made me pick Ice Climbers was 2 people's better than 1, right?
God, you're stupid.
And sure enough, I took out half of his freaking life with the Ice Climbers before I died.
But yeah, so like I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to
I don't use them.
run somebody from like the only problem would be like probably coming up with enough characters from The World Ends With You.
Oh,
Because
there's
like
plenty.
well, I haven't played through much of the game really.
It's on iOS available.
My roommate had it and I was borrowing it from him, but I'm
It's
not gonna
fucking
finish it. So
Norwell Mason, who's on the freaking last day.
yeah, so that's who I'm thinking of right
Who
now.
about
I'll
you?
probably think of like another character while you guys are saying what characters you want besides someone from The World Ends With You. I don't know. Like it'd be interesting, but because then you get the whole like pin options and whatnot. Like the different pins control the different abilities you have. But I feel like that really run its course was like Robin of like you can only use the pins for so long, then they have to regen.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's kind of Robin's thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a sword fighter, magic fighter, and my weapons will break after a while. Which really makes sense with the series, by the way. Of like, I know some people they're probably like, oh, it's stupid. Like, oh, I can only use my specials so many times, and I have to wait. It's like it fits the series so well, though. Unless, of course, you get Armstrift, but that's another story. I'm talking about the Fire Emblem series, in case you guys don't know. Because if anyone who doesn't know, the Fire Emblem series, you have limited uses of your weapons. There's only, I think, in the newest one, there are 2 weapons that cannot be used up. And I already know. No, my bad. I caught myself. There's 3, but to get the third one, it's actually kind of a pain in the ass. Well, okay, maybe 4. If you really want to count Falchion and I'm probably saying that wrong, and its enhanced version different. Because there's 2 forms of the blade, which is the ones that Chrom and Lucina wield. That's the blade that Lucina has in New Smash Bros. Game. That's the blade. Then there's an enchanted version of it that Chrom can get later in the story. I don't even care if I'm giving out spoilers. The game came out God knows how long ago. If you haven't beaten it, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Whoa.
I'm just throwing that out there. Like, it's been out for a couple years now. If you were gonna actually beat it, you would have beaten it by now. It's just kind of one of those things. And so, crap, what was I just about to say? And then there's like a certain weapon that you can get with one of the characters in his recruitment mission. If you talk to a certain person, they'll just give you an unbreakable steel sword that's just like, oh, I think it's unbreakable. I actually never got it because all the enemies in there decided to go kill everyone on the map because they want to be a bunch of whores.
Oh,
It's a pain in the ass because it's like, oh, hey, I have to get over the entire fucking side of the map when enemies literally can get there in 2 turns. So it's like I have to have the most powerful Pegasus rider in the first position with most agileness so can move a lot. Yeah, make it stop.
Make it stop hurts. Adam or Mason?
I actually have one. Is Bomberman. He'd be awesome.
Ooh. I see Bomberman there. I feel like well, never mind.
I feel like it'd be more like a Mega Man kind of thing. You have like ranged attacks more than anything.
Yeah, he would definitely be ranged.
It seems like he would be a very spacing character, kind of like I think Cyrax is in Mortal Kombat because like Cyrax relies a lot on setups to combos, and so Cyrax can be somewhat difficult to play, I believe. Like I personally like using Cyrax, so I'm just messing around by myself. But that's just because I think he looks cool and his name's awesome.
It's just for that reason.
I feel like he'd play a lot like Snake, who's like really ranged and like kind of sets traps around the map.
Yeah, like why don't they bring Snake back? It's probably issues with Sony. That and Snake is part of an M-rated game,
Yeah, true. True.
which I think is actually really funny because like I borrowed first Metal Gear Solid game from my friend. I'm like, wait, there's a GameCube game that was rated M? I'm not used to
Resident
this.
Evil.
I don't count Resident Evil.
What the fuck, dude?
It's not a real game.
Oh,
I'm gonna
really,
catch so much heat.
really. Coming
I'm
from
kidding.
dude, listen. I almost set the goddamn world record for that game. Shut up, man.
Well, the reason you did it is because you're bad and you should feel bad.
I wasn't bad. I was only like a half an hour off. I wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad.
I was only about half an hour off.
I beat that game in
And, like,
2
4
hours
days.
and 19 minutes.
It was also like 4
2
days
hours
off.
and 19 minutes I went through the fourth game. God, I love that game.
He also had 4 days.
4 days of practice beforehand.
Yeah, by 4 days of practice, I mean like 4 years of practice. He can't hear this, by the way, because he's stupid.
Exactly.
What?
I have no idea what?
I have no idea what you were responding to.
I don't know either. Good. Mesa,
Yeah.
what do the numbers mean? No, I'm kidding.
God damn
what
it,
are
I
your
should
scores?
have-
listed one.
Yeah, you listed one. Need 3 more.
I don't need three.
3 more.
Okay,
Need
Adam.
3 more.
I think
There was a
Kinda
fifth one that
cool
came
if,
to my
like-
head, and I can't remember what it is. I'll remember in a second.
if they made like Toad his own character, it'd be
Oh my God.
interesting.
Toad. Oh, Jesus.
That'd be something.
It'd be hilarious. I'm not gonna doubt that.
Well,
Like,
I'd try it. I'd be
who
for
wouldn't
it.
try it?
He
Really?
wouldn't be able to jump.
Yeah, his jump would suck balls. Like, worse than Up B for Little Mac, but...
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, his ground game would also probably be terrible. He'd be the Pichu of this game.
I would love that.
Oh, it'd be great because there'd be that one guy who plays on a very competitive level that learns him and just wrecks lives,
Oh.
like Dom Pierre in Soul Calibur 5.
Oh, God, I know him. Oh.
I've seen videos of people using him competitively, and I've used him myself. It is hilarious.
It is wonderful.
It is great when you have two really hard AIs fight each other as Dom Pierres because it's like they spend like half the match trying to figure out what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. It's
What
great.
do I do?
Oh, it's great.
God, what was that fifth one that came to my mind?
No, I don't understand. Who's not in the game is what's his name? King K. Rool, the one like
He was
Donkey
high
Kong.
up there in votes. He was high up there for a while.
yeah, dude.
Wait, who?
King K. Rool, Green Alligator, main bad guy, or protagonist, or antagonist
Antagonist.
for
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong Country. Well, Donkey Kong in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know him.
He'd be an awesome heavy. He'd be like kind of play similar to like King Dedede or something.
Or even give him his freaking blunderbuss like he had in Donkey Kong Country.
I think they need to add just like a true troll character. Like a character you pick just to troll the other person.
Like Lucas.
Hey, dude, Lucas is the
Like
bomb.
Fit Trainer.
Oh.
No, what I mean, like, the attacks are
Like
really weak at
Luigi.
first, and like a character that gets stronger just like throughout the match naturally.
Lucario?
Oh, Lucario, yeah.
No, like 'cause
Yeah.
the thing is with Lucario is you get stronger the more you're hurt. I mean, like, the longer the match takes, the stronger the character gets.
Oh my
Will
god.
Mac.
Suck.
Dude, the first like 3 minutes that character would just be dodging everything.
Yeah, it'd be
Little
actually
Mac.
really.
That'd be annoying.
Little Mac also is another character. It's like you have to either deal damage or take damage until you build the meter, and then you only get one shot. Like, I'm going back to High School DxD. There's a character in there, like the main character. He has this weapon that it doubles his power level every 10 seconds. Like, it wouldn't be that ridiculous, but like every 5 seconds, his attacks do, or like
Do a little bit
Like-
more.
like every 3 seconds, his attack percentages go up by 1.
Hmm.
like just throughout the match going. So, but like obviously there probably had to be like some sort of cap or whatnot. Otherwise, it's like, oh here, let me just play the dodge game for 10 minutes. Now one shot sends you to 999%. Whoopsies.
Sorry.
But like it'd be kind of interesting because it's like a character is like you have to either play hyper offensive and just go in and not get hit, or you have to be very defensive with.
What defensive character?
Well, like when I say defensive, I mean like you have to dodge a lot because like you're not dealing a lot of damage, so people are probably going to try and get up in your face, and it's like they know they can't take much damage.
Dude, buzzkill for the entire thing, any character with counter.
Yes, but why don't we give that character a counter if that makes sense?
For what? No.
No, it'd be a counter that can only counter other counters.
Can anyone agree that when you get like countered by Shulk, those whole like 2 seconds before the initial impact, you're just like, ah, fuck.
See,
More than that, I'd like to say it's really annoying for anyone else in the match because it slows everyone down.
It does.
See, for me, I'm usually playing as a character that has a counter, so I'm repeatedly mashing down B in hopes that, hey, maybe it'll go out. Never mind.
I'm actually starting to ace Shulk as like a secondary ace.
You do realize I just play the game for funsies.
Oh my god, you don't understand.
No, like I'll go online and start fighting people. It's like, okay, I'll start being
fucking casuals.
Here's the thing, like, oh, I'll start off playing Lucina for a while. It's like, then I'll just like being for fun and free for all. I was like, I'm bored. Random.
Oh god, no.
That's suicide. Hey, I got Wario. Well, this would be an interesting match.
That's suicide.
And I did terrible. Random. Suicide. Oh, I got Peach. You fuckers are going down.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, Peach is an amazing character. It's hilarious to play as Peach.
Who was the character I had in my head earlier? Oh my god, this is starting to kill me. Shadow.
Actually,
I was thinking that too, like some other Sonic character.
Dude,
I feel like Shadow would kind of be a copy of Sonic, though.
Hands down, he would be.
But actually, like, Knuckles would be cool.
Actually, what I just thought of for like Shadow or whatnot, he could be like one character. I can't remember her name. So someone's gonna know it and like crucify me for it or something stupid like that. But in Soul Calibur, she hurts herself when she attacks, but her attacks do stupid amounts of damage.
So like Pichu, but strong.
Yes.
Pichu's a beast.
So like Shadow would pretty much like he would be kind of like some of his movements would be the same as Sonic's. Obviously there'd be some difference that probably make use of his darker side more.
Too edgy, 5 me.
And like when he deals certain blows, they'll do more damage than normal, but he'll take a bit of chip damage himself. So like if he does an attack and he usually does 5, like if you do the same attack, but I don't know, like I don't really know how the character actually works, but like if you do, let's say 5 just regular hits, let's say the 5 hits totals up to just 25 damage just to make math simple. But then you do one of the attacks that would cost you some of your own personal life. You deal like 35 damage while taking 2%. So it's kind of like a risk-reward factor.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like they have so many characters that already I don't want to say they fight the same because they don't. But like every character, it's like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of characters with a whole lot of risk reward in it. I mean, like, yeah, there are a lot of there are characters that do that. Like, obviously, Jigglypuff with its rest.
That move.
What?
That move is amazing.
It's beautiful.
I'm trying to think of like other characters that might. Like Ganondorf's a lot slower, but can hit harder. Lucina, she takes the whole blade does even damage, so you can be more aggressive, but you can't kill as quickly if you're good. It just be one of those interesting things where it's like you're almost a suicidal character. It's like you want to kill them as quickly as you possibly can. Which kind of fits Shadow's personality just from the Shadow the Hedgehog game that I've played. It's like
Oh,
just
that
kill.
game, dude, that game was awesome.
What
Yeah.
game?
Shadow the
Hell
Hedgehog.
yeah.
It'd be. I don't know what, but like the thing is, right now is Shadow's already an assist trophy.
Yeah, it's the same issue with Ridley, Waluigi, and Midna. They're really popular choices, but they're
And what the
already
hell?
assists.
Let's just throw Luigi in there. Let's get him in a game other than racing or party game.
Waluigi?
Waluigi. Let's make him like a really awkward character.
I would like it, but it's not likely.
I don't know.
Just a
Maybe
random
they just have
question I
enough
have
Mario
to
characters.
ask Mason again because I feel like I already asked this question again, just kind of random. Handsome Collection has all DLCs?
All DLC up to the day that it was released.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Garrett, I just thought of another character. You might remember a character similar to this in Wild Arms 3.
Uh-oh.
Let's throw the guidebook in there.
Dude, that thing was a piece of shit. Don't talk to me
Honestly,
about
wouldn't
the
that be
guidebook.
wouldn't that be hilarious? It's like one of the like you just played against a tournament. All of a sudden, someone just like picks a character and it's like, oh shit, they're the guidebook,
No,
and it's like you don't know.
no. For
And
anyone...
like each outfit would be like a different moveset of a different character.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
For you two and everyone that doesn't understand, Wild Arms 3 has this dungeon called the Abyss. It's 100 floors, and each floor you have to get like 5 crystals before you advance to the next floor. And once you get to like 75 to 100 floors deep, you get to these enemies called the strategy guide or the guide book or something like that. And it literally can analyze and use any move in the game on your characters. They're the most annoying pieces of shit.
You
I
can't
swear
tell
to
me
God.
that would not be a fun character
Oh
just
my God,
just
so
to
annoying.
troll people. It'd probably be banned from tournament use because that'd be really broken to be like, oh, that's the character you're going? Okay, let me just choose the moveset that's perfect for this.
Oh, it's so stupid. Why wouldn't you pick the character though?
What?
I feel like it should be like a random thing.
Ooh, we're going all Edgemaster on? That'd be interesting.
Yeah, like every time you pick the guidebook, it's kind of random.
No,
but
no,
it
no, no,
kinda
no, no.
looks-
Every time you die, you have a different fighting style.
Ooh,
Because there's
Ooh.
there's 3 characters like that in Soul Calibur 5. I
That's
think
true.
that's Edgemaster, Keelik, and
I love Keelik. Fucking
what's her
love Keelik.
face? I can't think of her name right now. But like every round, they have a different fighting style.
Which is
Like,
awesome.
so can you like imagine like every time your character died, you have a different fighting style?
That'd be fucking great.
Like the only problem with that is it'd be like you have to pretty much learn every single character in the game, which would be ridiculous. They could have like different versions of it, like ooh, I got it. The different outfits like determine the different characters you pick from.
Oh,
So
I
if you
got you.
like you pick the Mushroom Guidebook, you're just the Nintendo characters. Fire Emblem Guidebook, your Fire Emblem characters. Like obviously they have to group some of them together. It's like, oh, you're the Sonic Guidebook. I wonder who you're gonna be this entire time. But like
Add
if
Prower
like
to the mix. What?
like Triforce Guidebook, it'd be all the characters from
Zelda.
yeah, and then like
Pokemon.
like I said, you'd have like the Pokemon. They'd all probably be one group because that's a pretty big group. But like they could probably combine Fire Emblem and Kid Icarus groups.
Well, Kid Icarus is kind of getting up there. I mean, they got
They only have
3, but
they have 3 characters and Fire Emblem has 4, right?
that's true.
5.
Yeah, 5.
5.
Ike, Mark, Luke.
Or wait,
Not
hold on.
Ike.
Is it 4?
I think it's
Ike,
4.
Marth, Robin, and Lucina. My bad, 4. So like they have to group it all together. It's like that'd be such an interesting concept because then it's like if you learn groups of 5 if you learn certain groups of characters and you can be very proficient with each of them, it's like, okay, I'm going the guidebook. And then there'd obviously be one that's full guidebook, and that's literally truly you have a different fighting style, and they can't even predict it.
Perfect. And you just leave it up to chance.
Oh yeah, you know some tournament player would pick that up and just like use it just to troll. That would be the troll character. That's the
True.
troll character right there. Nintendo, if you're watching this, probably not. This is my friend's channel. He only has like 7 subscribers right
Shut
now
up, man.
because he's a
Suck.
loser.
It's all your fucking fault.
Yeah, you should like send like just this section to Nintendo
Yes.
and just like have the genius idea of like me talking about. By the way, one of the enemies is the guidebook,
Look.
and like what happens is it shows up on the pedestal. It shows up as a guidebook, and then it quickly transforms into the character. I'm just getting like chill. I want this to be a thing. I might have to go on to the place and like sign up to like, hey, let's put the guidebook in there, and this is how it would basically work.
Perfect. Alright. Well, we're already about an hour into this. Those were definitely the 2 subjects I wanted to cover. We ended up just losing Adam. He had to go and run an errand. He shot text me. And so, everyone who watched this podcast, I hope you enjoyed. Leave some of your own opinions in the comments below. Like and subscribe.
All 7 of you guys.
All 7. All 7. Which I think I know all 7. But personally, definitely will be getting the channel started up. People who have been watching, I think Mason is one of them, and I've already talked to him about it. I recently had to clear my PC, so I lost all of the games I was about to record. I will end up re-downloading them in the software to run them to be able to re-record them and finish them. Other than that, Dakota, Mason, thanks for joining the podcast, you guys. This is Retonomized, signing out.
And penis.